Hello student, in today's lecture we will discuss about mechanism of sexual reproduction in plant. We have seen the reproductive parts of a plant. Male reproductive part is known as androecium. It's male reproductive. Here pollen grains are formed which act as male gametophyte where two male gametes are always formed. Just like that, we have seen about gynoecium, which is the female reproductive part. In that, ovule is formed, which is a female gametophyte in which one female gamete or egg cell is available. Now today we will discuss how the fusion of fertilization takes place in plant. But before to start fertilization, we have to talk about pollination in plant. So the first mechanism is pollination. What happens in pollination? This is the transfer and deposition of pollen grain from the anther to stigma of a flower of the same species is called pollination. It is transfer and deposition of pollen grains from anther to stigma of same species flower. So, as soon as pollen grains are formed inside the anther, it gets ruptured to release them out, and that release of the pollen grain is known as pollination. It's not only the release of pollen grain, along with the releasing of pollen grain, they have to be deposited on stigma of same species. Now for the movement of pollen grain, any physical or biological force is required. This is known as pollinating agents. These are the agents required to transfer pollen grain. They may be biotic or abiotic factor. This can further categorize as abiotic factor, that means non-living factors, and biotic, that means living factor. In the case of abiotic factor, we can include the non-living factor air, water, air or wind that is responsible to transport pollen grain. This phenomena is called as anemophily. While the transportation of pollen grain with the help of water is known as hydrophily. While in the case of biotic factor, various living components are required for the transportation of pollen grains. These are as following. If pollen grain is transported with the help of insects, then this phenomena is called as entomophily. If the pollen grains are transferred with the help of birds, then this is known as ornithophily. If bats are required for the transportation of pollen grains, then this is called as chiropterophily. Just like that, snail can also transport pollen grain from one place to another. This is known as malicophily. I am going to write all the terms. Pollination done by birds, this is known as ornithophily. Chiropterophily, This is about pollinating agent. Now, on the basis of transfer of pollen grain from one flower to another or on same flower, this is pollination is further categorized into two categories. So the next one is types of pollination. This can further categorize into two categories, self and cross pollination. We can understand this process by forming some flowers with their stamen and stigma. Now, if the pollen grain of a flower move towards the same flower stigma, then this is a mode of self-pollination. This is called as autogamy, self-fusion. If the pollen grain of one flower will move towards the same flower stigma, then this is called as autogamy, while the pollen grain of a flower will move towards the same plant flower stigma, although the flower is different, then this is also a mode of self-pollination, and this is known as deuteronogamy. Well, if we have two different plant A and plant B of same species, then the movement of a pollen grain from one plant to another plant flower stigma, then this is called as cross pollination, allogamy or genogamy. I think by the diagram you can easily understand this one, because self-pollination is going on in a same plant, while cross-pollination is the property where crossing is done between two different plants of same species. So this one leads to form the pure race. This is responsible to form pure race, while this is responsible to form hybrid. Here the characters which are favorable or unfavorable, they cannot be eliminated out. While in the case of cross-pollination, elimination of the character or alteration of the character is very easy process. So this self-pollination never give rise to changes or variation in the species. While the variation can be easily introduced by cross-pollination. So these are the basic difference between pollination, self and cross-pollination. After pollination, now pollen grain has reached up to the flower stigma. Now it will get germinated there and will form a pollen tube, which will move towards the ovary, so that the second step of the plant can be done. Second step of the sexual reproduction can be done. This is known as what? Fertilization. This is fusion of male and female gamete. Now we know very well this pollen grain get germinated here and it will form a pollen tube like structure that can insert ovule. In the pollen tube, two male gametes are found. One get fused with the egg cell while another will move towards the central cell. I am going to elaborate the centralized portion of this one. Now how fertilization takes place, we know very well this is the structure of an ovule where three cells, per three cells which are found towards the challigeal end, these are called as antipodal cell. Lower cells which are found towards the micropylar end, these are forming the egg apparatus here, while the central cell, the cell found in the mid of the ovule is central cell that contains two nuclei, two polar nuclei. Now what happens? Pollen tube contains two male gametes. These are the male gametes. First of all, one male gamete enters and that get fused with the female gamete, that is egg cell. This female gamete. So fertilization in angiosperm, this fertilization is known as double fertilization. Why? Because this one is a two-step process. In the first step, one male gamete get fertilized with or fused with female gamete. This process is called as syngamy. It's fusion of one male gamete with another female gamete. By this fusion, it's a true fertilization. By this fusion, 2N kind of cell will got. We will get 2N kind of cell, and that will give rise to embryo, plant embryo. That is what? Seed. So seed is developed by syngamy. While in the second step, in the first step I told you, this egg cell get fused with this male gamete, while the another male gamete, the second male gamete get fuses with central cell. This phenomena is called as triple fusion. It's fusion of male gamete with central cell. Central cell already is, it's a diploid cell that fuses with one haploid matter. Then you will got 3N kind of structure, and that 3N kind of structure will develop into endosperm, which act as the food reservoir for developing embryo. This is the structure. This is the double fertilization where seeds and endosperm both have. Now after fertilizations, the structure get developed into another kind of structure. So the next point is what happen after fertilization. After fertilization, first of all, ovule get developed into seed, while ovary will form fruit. After completion of fertilization, you will get a ripened ovary, that is fruit, while the fertilized ovule will develop into seed. The next step is seed dispersal. Again, the dispersal is displacement or transfer of seeds from one place to another. Again, this transfer is done by various agents, which may be further categorized into abiotic and biotic component. In the case of abiotic component, we can include wind, water, oak, madar. These seeds are transported with the help of wind, while coconut seeds, these are transported by water. In the case of biotic component, we can include animals, various animals like monkey, squirrel. These are responsible to spread seeds from one place to another. Some large animal like elephant, these are also responsible for dispersal of seeds. By the dispersal mechanism, seed can move from one place to another. This reduces the competition among plants which belong to same species. Thank you everyone.